In today's video, I'm going to tell you guys 10 settings that pro players use to increase their movement speed, to increase their glue wall speed, to reduce their lag, to get more headshots, and to overall improve their gameplay in Free Fire. This first setting that I'm going to tell you guys is going to help you to find the direction of enemies that are firing nearby. I think you guys might have gone through situations where an enemy is firing at you and you get really confused when trying to find out the enemy's location. But when you turn on this setting, it will help you to find the direction of enemies that are firing nearby. I think that enabling this setting is just like having an extra character skill, so I highly recommend that you enable this setting. So now let's see how to enable this setting. To enable this setting, go to the display settings, then scroll down and then you'll see a setting called the gunshot alerts. When you turn on this setting and go into a match, it will show you the direction of enemies that are firing nearby. So this will help you to quickly navigate and attack those enemies. Setting number 2. This is actually a new setting that Free Fire added recently in a recent update. There are sometimes when we just jump out of the cover to attack the enemy and then we realize that our gun is still reloading. And then when we try to attack the enemy easily takes us down because we can't shoot at the enemy when our gun is reloading. So it's very important to take cover and reload your gun before attacking the enemy. Now I'm gonna tell you guys a setting that's gonna help you to determine how much time it's gonna take your gun to reload. To enable this setting, go to your control settings, then go to the assistance bar, then you'll see a setting called the reload progress on crosshair. Turn that on. When you turn this setting on, you will see this circle on the screen which will help you to determine how much time it will take for the gun to reload. With this, you can plan when to jump out of the cover to attack the enemy. Setting number 3. As you guys know, glue walls are a very important part in Free Fire and you guys need to learn how to put very fast glue walls if you want to become a better player. But there's this setting in Free Fire where if you put it to the wrong setting, it will reduce your glue wall speed, and if you put it to the right setting, it will increase your glue wall speed. The setting that I'm talking about is the grenade slot setting. If you put your grenade slot setting to single slot, all your grenades, your glue walls, your flashbangs and etc. will be in a single slot, and when all these things are in a single slot, it will take you some time to select the glue wall, and this will reduce your glue wall speed. Especially in intense situations, an enemy could easily take you down when you're trying to select the glue wall. So the best way to fix this problem is to have a separate slot for the glue walls. To get a separate slot for the glue walls, all you gotta do is go to your control settings, next go to throwables, next go to grenade slot and select double slot. After that, go to your custom HUD and adjust the sizes and positions of these two buttons. I'd highly recommend you guys to increase the size of the glue wall button because glue walls are very important and it will be easy to press on that button when it's big. And here's how I have placed those two buttons. Setting number 4. This setting that I'm going to tell you guys is going to help you to use snipers much faster and easier. If you haven't turned this setting on, you'll have to follow a 3-step process where you have to open the scope, next you have to bring the scope towards the enemy, and then you have to press the fire button to fire at the enemy. And by the time you finish all these steps, an enemy could easily take you down. So to use snipers much faster, there's a setting called the hold fire to scope. When you turn on this setting and when you hold on to the scope, it will automatically open the scope. And while holding on to the fire button, you can drag the fire button towards the enemy and then you can release the fire button to shoot the gun. Like earlier, you won't need to press 3 times to scope and fire. You can just press once and do all these things. To enable this setting, go to your control settings, and in the control settings, go to the shooting bar. And in the shooting bar, there will be a setting called the hold fire to scope. Turn that on. Setting number 5. This next setting that I'm going to tell you guys is going to help you do things such as fast glue walls, fast forward and backward running glue walls, no scope headshot trick and etc. If you haven't turned on this setting, it will be hard for you to do backward running glue walls. If you're a 2-finger player and you're planning on putting 3 backward running glue walls at once with the right thumb finger, it's going to be a bit hard. That's because you'll have to jump, slide and press the right fire button with the same thumb finger. But if you use the left fire button, you can jump and slide with the right thumb finger and press the left fire button to place the glue walls with the left thumb finger. This will make it much easier to place 3 backward running glue walls. The left fire button can also help you to put fast glue walls and also to do the no scope headshot trick. To enable the left fire button, go to your control settings, then go to the shooting bar. In the shooting bar, there will be a setting called the left fire button. Put that to always. Setting number 6. This next setting that I'm gonna tell you guys can help you to improve your gameplay, and this setting can also help YouTubers to record their gameplays. With this setting, you can watch the recent matches that you played, and when you watch these matches, you can find the mistakes that you did. When you find those mistakes, try to note down those mistakes and fix them so that you don't do those mistakes again in other matches. This way, this setting can help you to improve your gameplay. And for YouTubers, I think you guys can relate to this situation where you play really well in a match and then you realize that you forgot to press the screen record button.
Emotional, damn it!
But if you had turned this setting on, it could have helped you in such a situation. To turn on this setting, click your profile, next go to the replay option and then turn this on. If you have a low-end device, I don't recommend that you turn this on because it can make your device lag. But if you have a high-end device, I recommend that you turn this on. Setting number 7. There's actually not a lot to explain about this setting, but this setting will help you to increase the speed of picking up items. To enable this setting, go to your settings, then go to the auto pickup setting, then scroll down and then you will see a setting called auto pickup speed. Turn that from default to fast. Setting number 8. This is the setting that's gonna help you to do drag headshots and in-scope drag headshots. But if you turn on the wrong setting, you won't be able to do drag headshots and in-scope drag headshots. The setting that I'm talking about is the aim precision. In the aim precision settings, there are 3 settings: default, precision scope and full control. If you turn on the full control setting, the aim assist system won't work, so you won't be able to do drag headshots and in-scope drag headshots. You'll have to manually bring the scope of crosshair towards the enemy's head and then fire to do headshots. If you turn on the precision scope setting, you will be able to do normal drag headshots, but you won't be able to do drag headshots with the scope. To do headshots with the scope, you will have to manually bring the scope towards the enemy's head and then fire. When you turn on the default setting, you will be able to do both drag headshots and in-scope drag headshots, so I highly recommend that you put it to default. Setting number 9. Now, if you don't put the correct setting according to your device RAM, it could be the reason that your device lags. The setting that I'm talking about is the graphics setting. If you have a 1GB or 2GB RAM device, I recommend that you put the graphics setting to smooth. And if you have a 3GB RAM device, I recommend that you put the graphics setting to standard. For 4GB RAM devices and devices above 4GB RAM, you can put it on ultra. But there are some 4GB RAM devices that actually lag when you put it on ultra. So if your device lags, put it on standard. But if you are a 4GB RAM device user and you still want to play on ultra, try putting the high resolution to normal, the shadows to off and the filter to classic. This could help you to reduce the lag. Now before I get on to the 10th tip, I actually have a really bad news for my subscribers, which is that I won't actually be able to do face cam videos really soon. That's because I'm actually having a really hard time speaking to the camera. As a matter of fact, this is actually the first video in a while that I'm doing without a word-to-word script. So I think it will actually take me some time to get better at speaking English without a word-to-word script. So I hope you guys can stay patient until then. And now with that said, now let's move on to the 10th setting. Turning on this setting actually helped me to improve my headshots, and it also helped me to improve my movement speed. And I could easily say this is the setting that actually made me a better headshot player. So I highly recommend you guys to use this setting. The setting that I'm talking about is the quick weapon switch button. If you guys want to learn how to set up the quick weapon switch button and how to use it, check out this video. In here I teach you guys how to step by step use the quick weapon switch button, and I also teach you guys how to do the double gun switch trick with the quick weapon switch button.